Hey there, I'm Chad Millman. I'm joined by my BFF, my companion, my compadre professional bettor, Simon Hunter. It is our YouTube exclusive episode of The Favorites, the Film Room. This is the video where Simon and I are going to break down a couple of players and a couple of plays that we love, that are interesting to us, that are focused on games we've been betting, games we are thinking about betting this upcoming week, games of interest to people. Simon, I'm going first, buddy. And there is no more interesting game on the board this week than the San Francisco 49ers visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. This line movement has been crazy. We talked about it on the favorites on Tuesday. We'll talk about it again on the Thursday episode. But look, it was at 2.5. The Eagles were 2.5-point favorites. And in the middle of the Bills game, it started dropping. And all of a sudden, by Monday morning, the Niners were 2.5-point favorites. And now it's up to 3. So the guy that I chose, to me, maybe the most well-rounded, most interesting football player in the NFL, and has proven to be one of what I think are the two keys to the Niners' success since the bye. Because remember, and I'm talking about Deebo Samuel, the multi-talented player for the Niners. Because remember, the Niners, they were high flying. They went into that Cleveland game, week 4 or 5. Simon, they were crushing it, right? And then all of a sudden they lose that game. But in that game, they lost Deebo Samuel. And you could see almost immediately Brock Purdy sort of lost his ability to get the ball downfield. And they lose that game. They lose the next 2 games. Then they have the bye. Deebo and Trent Williams, the left tackle, who had been injured, come back after the bye. Hutton, I want you to start playing the first play that I want to show for Deebo Samuel. So this is on Thanksgiving. Okay, pause it right here. This is Thanksgiving. They're playing the Seahawks. And almost immediately, the Niners had this game under control. They're driving downfield. And this is essentially an option route. And so what happens is Deebo was lined up. And actually, you can play a little bit more, Hutton. Let's advance it a little bit more here. So say stop. You can see Deebo right at the bottom of your screen. He's sort of just to the left of the right goalpost. That's Bobby Wagner behind him. He was basically running an option route. So that gave him the ability to decide, am I going to cut inside or am I going to cut outside, depending on the leverage of the linebacker. He decided to cut outside. Yeah, you can play it here. What's really interesting here is, all right, so then he catches it, goes forward to about the 1-yard line. Play it again here, Hutton, because I want to show you something else. Okay, stop. You could see that Purdy does a nice job of picking up the pressure, or the San Francisco does a nice job of picking up the pressure, which gives Purdy that extra second to hold on to the ball and see where Deebo was going to go. Now, if we play it again, it's kind of uncoverable, Simon.
Yeah, especially with a linebacker on him. That's my favorite part about this too is Brock staring it down. Not that Brock always stares down, but this was one of these where he saw the matchup, linebacker on Deebo, and there's nowhere else you're going to go. Like, it doesn't matter what the other guys were running. He knew whatever option he picked, it's going to be the winning option just because he had him on the back heels. Like, once you get the linebacker flat-footed, Deebo knew he was going to win. So, yeah, just another great Kyle Shanahan route. Like, we seen the upper corner up there at the top. There's a guy wide open. Again, Brock never even looked his way, right? Never even looked at the fullbacks. He was just staring down this play to Deebo just because Deebo's that good. So, yeah, just a great choice there showing the option route just because shows how good their offense is, that he's letting players dictate their own routes. That's how confident Shanahan is right now in this offense.
So this next one is even more interesting, right? Because you have Deebo lined up in the backfield next to Brock Purdy. And Hutton, if you forward it a little bit from here, you'll be able to see that Christian McCaffrey, there, stop. Christian McCaffrey comes in from out wide, and now he's kind of lined up like mini slot, right? Because he's inside between Deebo and there's a receiver just to the right of McCaffrey. Okay, now you can play it here. And what makes it so interesting, go ahead, Hutton, is how many teams have a player where he's a receiver and you can line him up in the backfield, and then you can take the running back and line him up basically as a receiver. It makes it impossible to defend.
Look at the defense, though. Look at the defense where he freezed it. See how they're all on that one side because of McCaffrey?
Yeah.
They're all shifted because McCaffrey's on that side and so is Deebo. And then you saw the play they ran. That's why, again, another play I love that you picked out where it just highlights the Shanahan offense where he's using these guys' best ability, which is their talent. Like you have to account for McCaffrey, all these other guys, the whole side of the field just empty.
But this is what makes the Niners so freaking hard to defend, because if Deebo isn't as effective as he is as a runner, then really this is just a decoy play, right? And the defense knows he is going to flare to the outside, and they can sort of get lazy and try to cover Deebo coming out of the backfield. But they can't get lazy because not only do they have to defend against Deebo flaring outside or running, they also have to defend against McCaffrey. Then you can see he's moving across the line of scrimmage. So it could potentially be a shovel pass. And what's brilliant here, let's Hutton scroll back for a little bit because I want to show one other thing here. So you can see Purdy, when he gets the ball, he holds on to it for just a second and stop right there. You see there's a lineman coming around the edge, because as soon as Purdy saw that lineman crashing down, he knew, all right, I'm going to let Deebo have the ball, and he's going to run to the outside of that guy because he doesn't have containment. And you can't run that play if you don't trust that Deebo is going to be a brilliant running back. Rush yards per game with Deebo and Trent Williams, and I don't want to discount how important Trent Williams is this. They're amongst top 3 in the NFL. They're the bottom third. Rush yards per carry with Deebo and Trent, top 5 in the NFL, without much lower. Purdy, in the 3 games since they returned, let's pause it right here, Hutton. In the 3 games since they returned, 279 yards per game, 7 touchdowns, 1 pick, 1 game with a perfect QB rating in which they went on the road and beat the Jags by 31 points. And everyone thinks the Jags might be one of the better teams in the AFC. What I just wanted to show here, and this is sort of germane to the stats, is you're going to see, go ahead and play it, Hutton. You're going to see Deebo's, he's a decoy on this play, right? But he's so dangerous as he's running for the potential reverse. It leaves a wide open lane for McCaffrey, which speaks to the multidimensional nature of this offense and why they're so good at running the ball when Deebo and Trent Williams are both on the field. Makes it hard to decide who we're going to bet this weekend, Simon.
That's why you just got to play the number, brother. You got to make a number and then play the number.
Don't forget, Simon and I doing a live show. You're all invited. We want you all to be there. Nothing could be more fun, more exciting for us than to be able to connect with everybody who listens to the show, get to bet with everybody who listens to the show. Come bet with us, come listen. December 3rd, you can RSVP by checking out the link in the description here on the YouTube page and in the podcast episode page. Go to eventbrite.com, search the Favorites Podcast for more info to RSVP. The Shepherd and the Knucklehead, December 3rd, live show, Sunday night, 7:30 episode. Doors open at 4. Free entry, free drinks, RSVP. For the next play, Simon, you've chosen the quarterback for another marquee matchup this weekend, the Sunday Night Football game, but it's not Patrick Mahomes. It's Jordan Love of the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can convince some people here to get on this Jordan Love hype train and take the Packers this upcoming week. And I don't think enough fans were into it. They're kind of scared off by this Chiefs team after us taking the Raiders against the Chiefs. And I kind of wanted them to see that was kind of a one-off, that we saw O'Connell was able to pass against that Chiefs defense. I think we could see a lot from the same here from Jordan Love, where I really believe he's finally found some confidence. So, yeah, Hutton, roll the place. I picked the 3 touchdowns from the Thanksgiving game. And it's the big part of just the confidence he's playing with and him just taking the shots downfield. And this first one here, you could say it's luck. I think it's just pure arm talent. Like, he fit this into a window that was so tight, so small. You can barely see what happened because the defender crossed right in front of the ball at the last second. It went right over his shoulder into his own guy's hand. So Yeah, Jordan Love, the confidence he's playing with right now, it's incredible because you think the early weeks he played really well against Chicago, and then he was just bad for over a month. And I think the Packers fans started panicking, being like, wow, we don't have the guy. And now they see he's the exact same stats that Rodgers had through his first 13 weeks, his first year starter. I shouldn't say rookie year, but his first year as a starter. So the Jordan Love, if you're a Green Bay fan, you got to start getting excited. And that's why I wanted to pick him this week, where it's like, this might be as good as it gets for you guys this year. Like that Thanksgiving game, he was incredible. This play here, defender in his face, off his back foot, right into the breadbasket to a walk-in touchdown. And you think this is really easy. How many times do you see quarterbacks miss this play? So just the athleticism is highlighted here. The touch on the football is highlighted here. And it's just another play I wanted to highlight because it's just incredible how skillful this guy can be. And the offense they're calling right now is just working for him. So, yeah, Chad knows this guy's in his division. He's watched him.
Yeah, it's really frustrating to see a quarterback developing over the course of the season and making that fadeaway play that is playing right now. I mean, that's not an easy throw. Most guys, they end up short arming that throw because you don't think about how much touch and how much power you have to have as you're fading back. And the running back, it's not like shooting a fadeaway in basketball where the basket is stationary. The receiver is running in the opposite direction as you're falling back, which is not an easy thing to do. So I'm glad you chose Jordan Love because look, that's going to be the game everyone is chasing on Sunday night. And the Packers are huge, not huge, but nearly a touchdown underdogs. The line has moved in their direction from 7 to 6.5 to 6. So that Sunday night game is going to be interesting.
And this play here is the last touchdown. And this was pretty much a dagger of the game where, again, Jordan Love pushing the ball downfield with confidence and putting it in a spot where only his guy can go up and get it. And this is an incredible throw. Like there's not that many quarterbacks can make this in rhythm. And that's a play that you see it. That's a guy that's worked on it with a receiver and they practice against air. Like that's just a routine throw that they've worked on consistently. And you can just tell it's right there. Like the defender's in good position. It's just an impossible ball to defend. He put it over top to a high point that only his receiver could get. So again, I loved all three of these plays because one showed his skill of the incredible accuracy he has. The next one showed his athleticism. And this one just shows his dedication and the work he's putting in because this is a really, really hard throw to make. And you can tell repetitions, whatever they did, they kept working at it. And you're seeing it pay off. Him and Watson now, their connection, it's been incredible these last couple of weeks. So, yeah, hat tip to the Jordan Love and that Green Bay offense where I had doubts just like everyone else through a couple of weeks of this season. They've really turned it around since mid-October.
Accuracy, athleticism, dedication. I think that's how people would probably describe our podcast.
Amen, brother.
All right, this has been The Favorites, the Film Room, our YouTube exclusive. He's Simon Hunter. I'm Chad Millman. We'll check you, or you can check us out on our full-length audio, video versions of the podcast. Tuesdays, 1:45 p.m. Eastern. Thursdays, 11 a.m. Eastern. Sundays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Till next time, love you.